You know that feeling. You just need one tiny piece of information, so you pop open a browser, type in a few words, and you think, okay, 60 seconds, tops.
Hmm.
Then you look up from your screen and whoa, 20 minutes have just vanished. You've got like 14 tabs open,
Yeah.
and you still don't really have the answer you were looking for.
It's the digital rabbit hole. We
Uh,
all fall down it. And it's so frustrating because for decades, we were all trained to treat the internet like this giant, messy phone book.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Our whole habit was to use these, chopped up keywords, skim the results, and then try to stitch the truth together ourselves. And look, that works for a simple fact, right? Like, what time does the grocery store open?
Sure. But it completely falls apart when your question is more complex,
Yeah.
when it needs thoughtful help that, fits into your actual life.
Exactly.
I'm thinking about those really nuanced things, like try Googling your way through planning a trip when you have specific health needs, or drafting a really sensitive email to a colleague where the tone is just everything.
Or comparing two insurance plans that look identical on the surface. You don't get an answer. You just get a wall of blue links and a really bad case of decision fatigue.
So why does that happen? Why does that keyword approach just stop working when things get complicated?
Well, it's because search engines see every single search in total isolation. They have no memory. They don't know that 5 minutes ago you were searching for Italy trains with luggage.
Right, there's no context.
Zero context.
Yeah.
So when you now ask Florence or Bologna quieter in May, it has no idea what you're really trying to do. That context, all that nuance, it only lives in your head.
And carrying all that from tab to tab to tab,
Yeah.
it gets heavy. It's a real mental load, especially when your time and attention feel really precious.
It's a huge load.
Yeah.
And then you add the security angle on top of that, and for many people, it just becomes a complete barrier. The research on this is really clear. Privacy and security worries are consistently higher in people over 50.
I believe it.
Every extra site you visit, every cookie banner you have to click, all the tracking, it makes you want to just close the browser. It's a totally normal reaction.
That fear is real. I also saw some AARP research that said about a third of older adults name privacy as their biggest barrier to adopting new tech.
Yeah.
A full third.
And the beauty of the shift we're talking about today is that it really minimizes that exposure. The shift isn't about learning yet another app. It's about adopting a new mental picture.
A new model for how to interact.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So our mission for this deep dive is to pull out some actionable strategies that can move you from being that desperate keyword hunter to a confident delegator, to view conversational AI not as some mysterious search bar, but as an eager, trainable junior intern.
I love that. The junior intern mindset. Okay, let's unpack
The
that.
difference is, it's just stark. Think about asking for tiny scattered facts versus giving a full, proper brief to a human assistant. That's the core difference we're talking about.
Right. On one hand, you're typing in these little fragments, cheap hotels, Bologna, then a new search, things to do, then train tickets. And you're trying to assemble it all in your brain.
It's a puzzle.
It is. Now compare that to a single, clear conversational request. You are my travel assistant. I'm 58, my knees are a bit sensitive, and I really like quieter streets. Help me plan a simple 5-day Italy trip with short walking days.
Which one sounds more human? Which one is more likely to give you a plan that actually respects your body and your preferences?
It's not even a contest.
That conversation is the bridge. It's what takes you from tab overload and scattered searches to, real actual support.
Okay, so if the AI is our intern, what's its personality? What's its role in this new dynamic?
This is where we have to manage our expectations. Think back to your first week supervising a brand new hire. The AI is incredibly fast, it's eager, it's willing to learn. But it is completely clueless about your life. Totally. It knows nothing about your health, your budget, your history with your boss. It's just engineered to complete the task. And this is important. It will always try to give you an answer, even if it has to make one up.
That brings up a really good point. If the AI is drafting things for me, especially sensitive things, an email, a document, isn't there a risk I start to lose my own voice? That I sound, generic.
That is precisely why you are the supervisor. Your job is delegation, not abdication. That's the key. You're the one who brings the experience, the judgment, the direction on tone and accuracy.
So the AI is just doing the heavy lifting.
It's generating the first draft. It's summarizing the document. If it sounds generic, that's your first piece of feedback. You just say, keep the content, but make the tone less formal. More like how I usually sound.
I like that framing, the focus on feedback. It means the first answer is just a starting point. It takes all the pressure off trying to write the perfect prompt.
It does. And the great thing is that feedback is expected, and it works immediately, right there in that chat. If the draft is too long, you just send it back. Shorten this to 2 paragraphs. Make this sound friendlier. Add an example for someone over 50.
You're training it on the fly.
You're training your intern to your personal standards right then and there.
Okay, so we have the intern mindset. We know its job is to draft, and our job is to direct. Now for the big question. How do we actually give clear instructions? Because for 20 years, the rule was always type fewer words, get better results.
And that rule is now dead. It's completely flipped.
Right.
With AI, the new rule is more context and clearer sentences give you dramatically better help. The AI isn't matching keywords. It's trying to understand relationships and concepts. The more you give it, the better it can model your actual needs.
So how do we brief our interns so it's actually effective?
We use structure. Instead of just throwing out messy fragments like, insurance help comparison, we use a simple 3-part briefing structure, just like you would with a new colleague.
A colleague briefing, not a search query. I like that. What are the 3 parts?
First is context. Who you are and what's going on. Second, the task, what you specifically want the AI intern to do. And third, the format, how you want the answer to look.
Let's go back to that travel example because it shows the power of that structure so well.
Yes, exactly. The briefing goes something like this. Context. You're my travel assistant. I'm 59, traveling with my daughter in May. We like quiet streets and simple food.
That's the context. Where?
Then the task. Please suggest a 5-day itinerary that balances history with some relaxation, focusing on short walking days. And then the format. Give me 2 hotel options per city and a bullet list of what I need to book in advance.
That is effective delegation. It's concise, but it has everything it needs. And we can break down that first part, the context, into even simpler buckets, can't we?
We can. The first bucket is just who you are. This is where you give those broad strokes that help the answer fit your reality.
And we should stress, this is safe, right? We're not talking about account numbers or your full address.
No, absolutely not. Just broad strokes. I'm 62, I'm based in Europe, and I'm not very technical, so please avoid jargon. Or, I'm 55 and planning for retirement, but I'm pretty risk averse. That immediately tailors the output.
Okay, and the second bucket.
What you're trying to achieve. This is where we get specific about the goal. Instead of help with a letter, you say, I need a polite but firm reply to the utility company because they overcharged me.
So a clear goal gets you a useful draft.
Right. It moves you from just brainstorming to actual execution. And the third bucket is what you already have. This is your raw material. Don't ask it to write a speech from scratch.
So you paste in your messy notes.
Exactly. Paste your messy draft and say, here's my rough speech. Tidy it up, keep my tone, and shorten it to 3 minutes for a small party. Oh, and make the jokes funnier.
That's so useful.
And to make the task part even clearer, we can use a really simple formula that just replaces vague keywords entirely. It's action plus topic plus limits plus audience.
Okay, let's break that down. Action is the verb.
Yes. Use strong verbs. Summarize, rewrite, draft, compare, explain. Don't say. Tell me about, say, explain.
Got it. And topic is obvious. What about limits? That sounds like the really powerful part.
It is the most powerful part. It forces the AI to edit itself. When you specify a limit like keep it under 150 words or avoid technical jargon or use short sentences, you're making it prioritize.
Which saves me from getting a huge essay when I just needed a couple of sentences.
Precisely. And finally, audience, you just name who it's for. Explain this in simple language for a 55-year-old who uses email and a bank app. That structure just transforms a foggy wish into a crystal clear instruction.
Okay, moving into our final section here, let's talk about review. Because when that neat, confident answer pops up on the screen, it's so tempting to just copy, paste, and move on. We have to fight that impulse.
You have to. That little voice of experience in your head that says, really, is that street name correct? That's your most valuable asset. You have to treat the AI's answer as a draft. Always a draft.
And we can use a quick checklist for this. 3 simple questions. The first one, does this actually match my real situation? Does that itinerary match my energy levels or my sensitive needs?
Right. If the plan has 4 museums and 2 hours of uphill walking, you know immediately the intern is just using generic data.
Question 2, is anything oddly specific or maybe too vague?
This is so important. This is where the AI can hallucinate, which is just a fancy way of saying it confidently makes stuff up because it's trying too hard to please you.
A guess and a nice outfit.
That's a perfect way to describe it. If it names a restaurant and gives a precise address, be a little suspicious. A human wouldn't know that without checking. The AI might have just invented it.
And the third question, the absolute most crucial one for safety. Is this a sensitive topic? Is it about health, money, or the law?
Yes. If the answer touches your body, your wallet, or your legal rights, you have to double-check it with a human professional you trust. The rule is simple. Everyday tasks, give it a quick glance. Anything critical deserves a real second opinion.
And we shouldn't be shy about correcting it. If the draft is wrong, if the tone is off, you push back.
That is the training. It's not rude, it's essential. Just reply right in the chat, "You forgot I'm in Europe, so those US links are useless." Or remove anything that sounds like medical advice. Every correction makes the next answer better.
And we don't need to, overhaul our entire digital life to start doing this.
Right.
The sources really suggest that this confidence comes from small, repeated steps.
Absolutely. 10 quiet minutes a day. That's enough to train the habit. You're just teaching your brain, I can ask for help, but I stay the boss. Research shows that these repeated practical tasks are what really build digital confidence.
So like on day one, maybe you just rewrite a real email you've been putting off. Ask the intern to make it clear, polite, and under 150 words.
Yes. And on day 3, maybe it's a learning task. Explain what an algorithm is using an everyday example like a banking app. You're just using the tool to make the world a little clearer.
Or day 5, organizing messy notes. Paste in some rambling text from your phone and say, turn this into a checklist. Group the similar items. The whole point is to make it feel available, like reaching for your reading glasses.
Exactly. And when you talk to friends about this, start with the simple story, the intern story. Don't use the jargon. Just say, I've started thinking of AI as a junior intern, and then show them. Take a real annoyance, like a confusing email, and fix it together. Show them the back and forth.
So what does this all really mean then? It means you're no longer the person desperately hunting for keywords across a dozen tabs, feeling that way. You are the supervisor. You're the one who says, here's my situation, here's the task, and here's how I want it delivered. You're taking back control of your own time and your own attention.
So the next time you're tempted to open a bunch of tabs, just pause for a second. Ask yourself, is this something I could delegate to my AI intern instead? If the answer is yes, just try it. It's not about being perfect. It's about building a quiet, helpful habit that protects your focus.
You don't have to chase every new tech trend. You just have to decide that your time and attention are worth protecting, and that this can be a useful helper as long as it works inside your rules.
The goal isn't to impress the machine. The goal is to use your lifetime of judgment to guide it. You are right on time for your own life. Want a hand getting started? Learn more at radosimpleai.com.